Nesterovich, no, and Kidd the rebound. He talked about TJ Ford having success on Jason Kidd. That's in part as Jefferson goes baseline and stuffs it through. It's in part because Ford is much younger than Kidd, who just turned 34 last month.
He is willing to make those shots. And Richard Jefferson, I think this was a pivotal play for New Jersey. The reason being, it shows his willingness to test that ankle in transition, because when he's healthy, he's one of the best finishers in the game. And
like the old sitcom, Jefferson moving on up. Hoping to move to the second round. That's where the Nets lost last season to eventual champion Miami. They're glad they don't have to face the Heat, which has knocked out New Jersey each of the last 2 years from the playoffs. That's on Richard Jefferson's shoe on the inside of his shoe there. Into the hands of Williams. The second unit for the Nets have done a great job here in the second quarter. They're 6 of 7 from the field. Nachbar to Jefferson with the reverse. That's 2 jams by Jefferson and 13 points. I think the ankle's okay. But every time he's on the bench, the Raptors get down.
I like him out, though. You don't want to change the complexion of the start of the third period with him getting that third personal.
And a turnover and a 2-on-1. Kidd to Jefferson. Another jam. 17 in the first half for Richard Jefferson. And Kidd with 10 assists forces a Toronto timeout. Make it 11 assists for Kidd.
Well, transition opportunities is where New Jersey is starting to get separation from the Toronto Raptors. And who else? None other than Jason Kidd leading the break. Outstanding job. Eyes in the back of his head. And one of the best finishers in transition, Richard Jefferson. And that's feeling good behind their leader.
Richard Jefferson with 17 in the first half. New Jersey closes out the half on a 7-0 run. They scored 28 in the second period, doing most of their damage with Chris Bosh on the bench in foul trouble. Stay tuned. Fred of the gang coming up next.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Show.
And a big first half for Jason Kidd, who's recorded 11 assists as New Jersey Nets forge a 10-point halftime lead, leading Toronto at home 51-41 in Game 1 on this busy Saturday of playoff action, the first playoff day in, of course, the NBA.
But what was more impressive to me overall was what Jason Kidd was able to do, and he really allowed other guys to have a huge impact on the basketball game. This guy is the best there is at leading the break in transition. He does a great job of finding this guy.
That was today's McDonald's Unlimited Highlights.
And everybody was talking about Vince Carter's return, but it was the return of Richard Jefferson to pre-ankle injury form that was the story, Doris, in the first half.
Yeah, he said that he did not think he'd be the same player until next year when he has had time to rest and heal that ankle. But the explosion, the ability to get lift has been so important. I think he gets healthier by day. The normal pregame treatment, this was a huge play. In transition, he is one of the best finishers. And one thing he talked about was he did not think he could go through people to score. Well, there were plays in that first half, this one in particular, where he had to go through people. There were bodies around. He was not afraid to land on that ankle. That was huge.
Meanwhile, Jason Kidd had 11 assists. His career playoff high is 16. And Vince Carter did have 7 rebounds. A lot of boos for Carter, obviously, today. And 3 of 9 shooting for former Raptors star.